I'm Matt Cowart. This is Conversion Brewing Company in Lebanon, Oregon. Before Conversion Brewing, I ran a landscape construction company. So I started reading the history of brewing and ran across a bunch of recipes with descriptions of flavors on these beers that were from Europe. So I came to the conclusion that if I wanted to try those beers, I had to do it myself. Started home brewing, small scale in my house in the kitchen. I started getting more equipment and more equipment. My wife decided that was too much and I needed to remove myself from the kitchen. I ended up having a 20 by 15 area of my shop that was walled off and turned into a brewery. So one of the reasons I decided to look at brewing for a business instead of as a hobby is my friends all the time were asking me if they could buy beer from me. I had to explain to them that's called bootlegging and you can go to jail for that. I'd been a landscape construction contractor for 15 years. Was sitting there thinking, okay, I'm early 30s, doing this for another 30 years is probably not a great plan. I initially ended up looking at a business plan, writing a business plan out while I was still doing construction to prove to myself that Lebanon's too small for a brewery, we can't do this here. And what I ended up doing was proving myself that Lebanon was not too small for a brewery and it would be very successful. Our beer selection was initially, when we first opened, defined by recipes that I developed over the 12 years of homebrewing. One of the good examples that I really love to give people is Belfry, which is our Belgian triple. Almost all of the flavor profile in that beer is from the yeast strain that we use for it. Constantly coming up with new recipes, which keeps us as brewers very interested in what we're doing. I've always been a proponent of Whole Foods. We have a produce company, a local produce company that we can get deliveries 5 days a week from. Choosing to go with the wood-fired pizza oven, we said pizza obviously is one of the things we're gonna build it around. When we do our sauce, we have imported tomatoes from Italy. We do most of our own dressings from scratch. We do our own sauces. We make dough every day by hand. From the beginning, Conversion in Lebanon, we wanted it to really be a community gathering place. The dream would be that you'd have a steel worker, dirty from head to toe, having a beer next to some guy in a $2,000 suit. So everything we do here, we vet it by saying, does that build community? If it does, we're interested. If we don't feel like it's gonna build community, we're gonna pass on it.